It's time for Rabbi Minkowicz's Weekly Torah Lesson, a place where life's most difficult questions are answered. Here with his spiritual perspective and insight, Rabbi Minkowicz.
Welcome to this week's Torah lesson. This week's Torah portion is Parsha's Terumah. The question of the week is, why is it important to go out of our comfort zone? So in this week's Torah portion, Parsha Terumah, we read right in the beginning where God commands the Jewish people to make a mikdash, to make a holy sanctuary, and God says, in that sanctuary I'm going to make, V'shachanti b'socham, I will come dwell there. Now, the Torah doesn't say V'shachanti b'socho in that specific mikdash, but it says V'shachanti b'socham, I'll dwell in them plural. There's one mikdash, there's one sanctuary, but we know that it's explained in mysticism because every single human being, b'socham is referring to every single human being could make a mikdash. Everyone can make a sanctuary out of their own life. So in other words, how do you make a sanctuary out of your life? So you have to look at what was in the temple, what was in the mikdash, and those items have a spiritual place within you, and that is your goal, to make every one of those items that was in the mikdash, which is in your spiritual psyche, in your spiritual life, to make that a place for God. So let's look at the first item that the Torah tells us to make. The Torah says to make an ark. And the first ingredient the Torah says to make the ark with, it says atzei shitim. Now, atzei shitim refers to acacia wood, but what's interesting is that the name for acacia in the Torah is called shittim. What does shittim mean? It comes from the word, as explained in mysticism, it comes from the word of shtus. Shtus is basically illogical in a good way. Like, for example, the stories in the Talmud of people that would dance at weddings and make the bride and groom extremely happy, and they would act silly. And the term the Torah uses, the Talmud uses, is shtus. They would act silly. In other words, there's a normal way to behave, but when you want to make someone extremely happy, sometimes you have to go like in a shtus mode, in a positive way. In other words, let's say sometimes you want to do something, and you have your normal way of doing it, and you just go out of your way to do something even amazing. So you might look like a shtus, but the reality is you're doing something amazing and something great. So in other words, the Rebbe explains, so if you want to make a sanctuary in your life, in each and every one of us lives, first things we have to think of making an ark and using what ingredient. If we want to become an ark for God, we have to use atzei shitim. We have to do sometimes things that are totally out of our comfort zone in a positive way, and we do that, then we can become a real mikdash, a real sanctuary for God. So the answer to the question, how do we go out of our comfort zone? To think of the first item that was in the mikdash, which is atzei shitim, with the ark, which was made of atzei shitim, and shittim means doing things out of our norm, and when we do things out of our norm, then we will have the opportunity to go out of our comfort zone and become a mikdash for HaKadosh Baruch. This week's Torah lesson is in memory of Baruch ben Aryeh Leib and Shlomo Ben Yosef. May their souls be elevated for the Torah that we're studying in their memory. Thanks so much for joining us for our weekly Torah lesson. For more information on Chabad, please see our website.